Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to create Brevo contact from swipe pages form submission. So I run an online course platform where for the registration, I have created a form with the help of swipe pages. Now in order to streamline the onboarding process of the students in my course, I have created a connection between my swipe pages, Brevo and Google Sheets in such a way that whenever the form is going to be submitted by a student in swipe pages, automatically the details of that student will be added as a contact in my Brevo email marketing list, and automatically the details will also be added in Google Sheets so that I will be able to keep a track of all the details. And I have automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect without the requirement of any coding and programming skills. So if you also want to learn this amazing automation step by step, for that you have to come towards my screen. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can streamline customers onboarding process with the help of automation. Let's suppose you run an online course platform and you want to streamline customers onboarding process. So for this, we are going to create an automation. So what you can do, you can create a registration form for your course by using swipe pages. Okay, so here as soon as the student is going to register themselves by submitting that form, then automatically that student will be added in your email marketing list, that is in Brevo. And as soon as the student will be added, then automatically a record will also be created in your Google Sheet so that you can keep a track of the details of the students. Okay, so we are going to automate this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, and that too without any coding or programming skills. So we will simply use Pabbly Connect to set up connections between swipe pages, Brevo and Google Sheets in such a way that whenever a form will be submitted in swipe pages, then automatically the person who has submitted the form will be added as a contact in your Brevo list, and as soon as the contact will be added, then automatically the details of that contact will be added in your Google Sheets. Alright, so here this is the home page of Pabbly Connect, where we can reach by tapping the URL pabbly.com/connect in our browser. After coming over here, we will find two options: sign in and sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can just click on sign up for free button to create your free new account, and it will take 2 minutes. Okay, when you will create your account, you will get 100 free tasks every month to explore this amazing software and to test multiple automations. Now currently, because I am already an existing user, here I am going to click on sign in. This is all app section where we can find all the products which are offered by Pabbly. To create this automation, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. So let's click on access now. And it has taken us towards the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. So on this dashboard, we can find all our workflows which we have created, and we can also add folders over here on our dashboard to save our workflows separately and accordingly. Now we'll click on this create workflow option to create a new workflow. And here a dialog box is appear. So it is asking us the name of the workflow. So first of all, let us provide a name to our workflow. Create Brevo contact on swipe pages form submission and add details in Google Sheets. So I have given the name to my workflow according to the conditions which we are having. Now after giving the name, I'm going to select the folder in which I want to save my workflow. We have multiple folders over here. So I'm going to select this automations for lead management folder. Accordingly, you can also select your folder which you have created. Now let's click on create. As we have done that, we can see that two windows are open in front of us. First is the trigger and the other is action. So what are trigger and actions? Trigger and actions are the main concepts, so we can say these are the building blocks of our automation. Here the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. That means the action is the response towards our trigger. Whatever we are going to select in our trigger is going to command the entire workflow, and the actions are going to follow that same command. Therefore, we can have only one trigger in every workflow, but we can add as many actions as we want. Now, let's suppose here my objective is that whenever a form will be submitted by a student in swipe pages, then automatically the student should be added in my Brevo contact list, and as soon as we will do that, automatically the details should be added in Google Sheets as well. So for that, I'm going to take swipe pages in my trigger, Brevo and Google Sheets in my action. But here we can clearly see that action is following what the trigger commands, because when the trigger happens, that means when the form is submitted first of all in swipe pages, then only the contact is added in Brevo, and then only after that the details are added in Google Sheets, otherwise not. So after understanding the concept of trigger and action, let's start creating the workflow step by step. First of all, to start our workflow, we have to select our trigger application, and that will be swipe pages. So let's select that. Swipe pages is a landing pages and form building application with the help of which we can create customized forms for event registration, surveys, and etc. Now here, after selecting our application, we also have to select the trigger event. Now what is trigger event? Trigger event is the event on the happening of which the workflow is going to trigger or start. So we have new form submission and new order. I want that whenever the form will be submitted in swipe pages, then I want to capture the response. So new form submission will be my trigger event. As we have selected that, here a webhook URL is provided to us. Now this URL is going to act as a bridge for setting up connections between swipe pages and Pabbly Connect, and for transferring the data from swipe pages and Pabbly Connect on a new form submission. And we can see that along with this webhook URL, we have also received some instructions. So we have to follow these instructions step by step. So first of all, let us copy the URL as it is very important, and then I will tell you exactly what we are supposed to do. So after copying that, I'm going to take you towards my swipe pages account. So this is my swipe pages account and we are on landing pages section. Now under this, we can see that this is the page that I have created. So I'm going to go towards the page Connect Pab, and this is the form which I have created. Now after coming over here on the top, we can see the option of integration. So let's select that, and here we have to click on Get Started. We have come towards workflow section. Now over here we have to create a workflow in order to set up this connection. So we'll click on this create new workflow button, and first of all we have to provide a name to our workflow. So for whatever reason you are setting up the connection, you can give the name according to that. Here I want that whenever a new form will be submitted, then the workflow should trigger and the response should be captured in Pabbly Connect. So here I'm going to give the name as new form submission. Okay, we'll click on next, and now here we have to drag and drop a trigger to start the workflow. So what should start the workflow? We want that whenever the form will be submitted, then the workflow should start. So we will drag and drop form submitted over here. Now we will select the trigger, and here it is asking us which page you want to select. So here we have any page or selected page. I have already created my page, so I'm going to go with selected page, and I will simply select my page, that is Connect Pab. After selecting the page, here we have to select the funnel also. So here I'm going to select any funnel. Okay, now we'll click on next, and the trigger is set up. So it is given that form submitted is a trigger. So when form will be submitted in Connect Pab page on any funnel, then the workflow is going to trigger. Now after trigger, what we want to receive the response in Pabbly Connect. For that we have to select our action as well. So our action will be send webhook, as we want to receive the webhook response whenever the form will be submitted. So we will drag and drop it over here, and then we will simply connect our trigger with action. After doing this, here we have to select the action as well. So let's select our action step, and it is asking us for the webhook URL. So the URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect should be pasted over here. The method will be post, and these are all the properties I have selected: full name, email, and phone number. So these are the same properties I have in my form as well, but you can add as many properties according to your choice. Now we'll click on run a test button to send a test response towards Pabbly Connect so that we can check the integration. And here on Pabbly Connect, we have received the test response successfully. So now we'll go back towards our swipe pages account, and we'll click on save changes. So now our workflow is saved. So let's turn this workflow as active. So the workflow is activated, and now we'll go back towards Pabbly Connect, and we will click on recapture webhook response button so that we can capture a new response. And as we have done that, it is showing waiting for webhook response. This means that now we have to do a test submission, and how we are going to do that? By submitting the form in swipe pages so that the response could be captured. So once again, I'm going to take you back towards my swipe pages account. We'll go towards the form. So this is my form, and this is the link of the form. So I'm going to simply click on the link, and the form is opened. So this is just a basic form which I have created for the response, but you can create fully customized form according to your business requirements. So I'm going to enter the details in this particular form to submit it, and because this is just a test submission, so I'm going to enter some dummy details. Let's start with the full name. Let's say the name of the person who is submitting the form is Smart Student, and now I'm going to enter the email address smartstudent89@pabblytudes.com. After giving the email, I'm going to enter the random phone number as well. Alright, let's click on submit. And here it is saying thank you. That means the form is submitted successfully. And yes, here we have received the response. So in this response, we have received the exact same details which we have entered while submitting the form. This is the phone number, this is the name, Smart Student, and this is the email address. This means that our connection is absolutely successful. So now whenever a form will be submitted in swipe pages, automatically the response will be captured in Pabbly Connect. Now our objective is to add the student who is submitting the form in swipe pages as a contact in our email marketing software, that is Brevo. So for that, we will go towards our action step. Our action application over here will be Brevo. So let's select that. And now we have to select the action event. So we have multiple action events over here because we want to create or update a contact this will be the action event, create or update contact. Let's click on connect. And now to build the connection, we have two options, add new connection or select existing connection. So to build a new connection, I'm going to go towards add new connection, and you have to provide domain name and API for that. But in case if you already have an existing connection, you can also go with that. Now let's move towards the details. So first of all, we need to enter the domain name. Enter your domain name here. For example, this is your URL. So this will be the domain name after API dot and before .com. So I'm going to take you towards my Brevo account. When you will see the URL of the account, here is the domain name. So my domain is Brevo. Okay, so let's go back towards Pabbly Connect, and it is selected correct over here. So I'm going to keep it same. Now let's move towards the API key. So from where we are going to get this key, for that we have to go towards our Brevo account once again. We have to go towards home section, and here this is the profile section. So I'm going to go towards my profile section, and under profile here we have the option of SMTP and API. After selecting that, here we have to go towards API key, and these are all the keys which I have created for different purposes. But to create a new key, we have to click on this generate a new API key button, and here you have to provide a name to your API key. So I'm going to give a random name, let's say students. Okay, now we are going to click on generate, and the key is ready. So I'm going to copy this key, we'll close that, and we'll move back towards Pabbly Connect to paste it over here. Done. Now let's click on save. As we have done that, we can see that Brevo is successfully connected with Pabbly Connect. So now after building the connection, we have to enter the details in these fields to create a contact. For that, first of all, we have to select the email address of the person to whom we want to add the contact. We want to create a contact by using the same response which we have received from swipe pages. So we will use the same email over here. Now we will map the data. So mapping is inserting data from previous response. Here our previous step is given, and here are the details which we have received. Here we have to enter the email address which is given. So let's select that, and it is mapped. Now when we have mapped this email, it has become dynamic. That means with each and every new response, it is going to replace automatically. So whenever a form will be submitted in swipe pages by a new student for registration, automatically the email is going to replace over here in this field with a new email of the new student. And in this way, I'm going to automate the entire process of creating contacts in Brevo whenever a form will be submitted. Okay, let's move forward. Here it is asking us certain questions. Do you want to use email blacklisted? I'm going to select true over here. Okay, the next is, do you want to use SMS blacklisted? So I'm going to select true over here. Now we have to select the list in which we want to create the contact. So we have multiple lists in Brevo account. So I'm going to take you back towards my Brevo once again. Here we'll go towards contact section, and when we'll go towards list, here are all the lists which we have in our Brevo account. So in whichever list you want to create new contacts, you can select that list in Pabbly Connect. I want to create new contacts in this new inquiries. So I'm going to go back towards Pabbly Connect. Here from the drop down in the list, I'm going to select new inquiries. Now it is asking us update enabled. So here I'm selected true. Now some of the details are not mandatory, so we can definitely ignore them, but if you want, you can add them also. Now I'm directly moving towards the last name and first name because we have received the name and the phone number. Now we'll go towards our previous step, and here we can see that we have received full name and not in the separate format, that is first name and last name separately. So we will have to separate the name, but in your case you can create the fields in your form in such a way that you will receive the name in the separate format only. So I'm going to click on this add action step button in between, and to split my name, here I'm going to use text formatter. Text formatter is an amazing feature by Pabbly which allows us to format the text which we have received in the response according to our requirements. Here we have to select the action event that will be split text. So we will split the name with the help of this. Let's click on connect. And now here it is asking us the text to split. So whichever text you want to split, you have to map that. So I will map the name. Okay, now we have to separate the name with what value that we have to enter in the separator. So because we want to split just the name into first name and last name, so we'll use space as the separator. So here I'm going to simply copy the space and I will paste it over here. It is given that if you are using space for separator, then you have to enter the space in this format. After doing this, it is asking us for the segment index, that what segment of this particular text you want. I want both the full name and last name, so I'm going to select all. Let's click on save and send test request button, and here we have received the first name as well as the last name. Let's move back towards Brevo and we will simply map the first name and last name now. This is the first name, and now we are going to map the last name. Now we have to enter the phone number. We have to enter that in the SMS. So we have received the phone number. I have selected that and it is mapped. Now all of the details are not mandatory, so I'm just going to ignore them, and here I'm going to click on save and send test request button. And here we have received the response along with one ID. That means this is the ID of the contact. So let's go and check whether the contact smart student is added in our list which we have selected. So I'm going to go back towards Brevo. This is my list, new inquiries. I'm going to open that. And yes, here we can see that automatically a contact is added on the current date. This is the phone number. This is the first name, last name, and this is the contact. So I'm going to open the contact to see whether all the details are same, and yes, here we can see that all the details are exact. So this is the same email. Now after adding the contact in Brevo, our objective is to create a record as well in Google Sheets, that too automatically. For that we have to set up the connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect. So this is my spreadsheet which I have created for maintaining the students' details so that I can keep a track of all my students and all their details. So here it contains name, email and contact number, all the same details which we have in our Brevo as a contact. So we will go back towards Pabbly Connect. We will click on this add action step button, and now we are going to select Google Sheets as our action application to set up the connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect. Let's select our action event, that is add new row. Let's click on connect, and because I've already built a connection earlier with my Google Sheets account, so I'm going to go with existing connection only. But if you want to create a new connection, you can click on this add new connection button, and then you can click on sign in with Google. Now we'll click on save. And here we can see that the connection is successful. So first of all, now we have to select the spreadsheet. So the name of my spreadsheet is students details. So I'm going to select the drop down and I will select my name. Okay, so this is the name of my spreadsheet. Now we have to move forward towards the sheet. So the sheet is also selected as we have only created one sheet over here with the name as sheet 1. We will move forward towards name, email and contact numbers. So I'm going to quickly map these details. This is the name of the student, full name, smart student, but you can also enter it in the separate format, that is first name and last name separately. I will map the email as well, and at last the contact number. Okay, done. Let's click on save and send test request button. And here we have received the response, and here we can see that automatically the details are added in our spreadsheet. This means that our connection is absolutely successful, and we have set up our automation that now whenever a swipe pages form submission will be made, then automatically the contact will be added in Brevo and the contact details will also be added in our Google Sheets. So now I'm going to go back towards my swipe pages account. I will open the link of my form once again. And now I'm going to submit this form with all new details. So let's start with the name. Let's say this time the name of the student is dummy student, a random email and a random phone number. So the email is, you can see, dummystudent67@pabblytudes.com, and this is the phone number. So I'm going to click on submit, and the form is submitted as it is saying thank you. Let's go towards Brevo and you will check whether the contact is added in our list or not. Let's go back. And yes, here the contact is added with the same details, dummy student and the same phone number. Now we'll go back towards our Google Sheets, and yes, here also we can see that the details are automatically added. This means that our connection is absolutely successful. So let's go back towards Pabbly Connect. We will quickly summarize what we have done over here. So we have taken very simple steps, trigger and action. We have simply set up a connection between swipe pages, Brevo and Google Sheets in such a way that now whenever a form will be submitted in our swipe pages account, then automatically the details of the person who is submitting the form will be added as a contact in Brevo, and as soon as it will be done, the details will also be added in Google Sheets to create a record. In this way, you can automate the entire process of onboarding of your leads or your customers. I have just taken the example of online course platform, but you can create this automation for your requirements. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but you can integrate multiple such applications without any coding or programming skills with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now, if you have any doubt, you can reach out to us at support@pabbly.com. If you want to ask any query, you can reach out to us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, you can reach out to the website given over here. Now, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to share it with your friends, and also please like our video and subscribe our channel for more such amazing automations.